Hi, this is Mr. Capert. In this video, I'm going to introduce the Trebuchet project. This is going to be a months-long project where you build a Trebuchet catapult. Now, first I need to explain what a Trebuchet catapult is. Now, it is a device used to fling projectiles like boulders into castle walls in the Middle Ages. They'd use this to break walls on castles and then have people invade. What was nice about the trebuchet was that they can attack from a distance, so they wouldn't get hit by arrows. Basically, this was the equivalent of a cannon. Gunpowder didn't exist at this time. Now, what's nice about a trebuchet versus other catapults is that it can throw farther and it has greater accuracy than other types of catapults. Now, one of the major differences between different types of catapults is how the force of the projectile is achieved. With a trebuchet, you have a large counterweight, a heavy counterweight that falls and produces that force, provides that force. Now, a little bit of trivia about trebuchet counterweights here, trebuchet catapults. They appeared in the 12th century in China, so they're very old. They could fling projectiles weighing up to 350 pounds, so you can imagine a giant boulder would break through a castle wall if you were lucky enough to hit it. It could hurl projectiles up to 1,000 feet, so you're out of distance of getting killed by an arrow. And it was in use until the introduction of gunpowder in the 15th century. At that point, cannons then took over. Now, some interesting facts here. Medieval times, soldiers sometimes catapulted dead bodies and horses at the enemy. They were trying to spread disease to those within the castle. Now, the largest trebuchet in the world is at Warwick Castle in England. This thing is massive, 22 tons, 59 feet tall. It can throw 80-pound missiles up to almost 1,000 feet. And a lot of people use these to throw pumpkins. It's a big contest every year. In this country. Yankee Siege 2 threw a pumpkin 2,835 feet. This is the catapult at Warwick Castle in England. Pretty cool, right? This is Yankee Siege, the pumpkin throwing trebuchet. Now, in a later video, the second video that's going to be on this worksheet, I'm going to go more detail how a trebuchet works. You'll need to watch that video to see how it functions. In that video, I'll show you exactly how one of my former students' catapults works. So I'm going to skip by that. Make sure you watch that video and that'll answer the questions after this section. So there's two things you guys are going to test in this project. First, how the weight of the counterweight affects how far it throws, also known as range. Range is how far it throws. You're also going to test how the mechanical advantage of the throwing arm affects the range, or how far it throws. We're going to be doing hand calculations, simulations, and prototype tests to determine these variables and how they affect the range. It'll be important to be able to calculate the necessary change in the counterweight for the accuracy portion of this competition. So this competition is going to actually have two parts. One is how accurate is your catapult. I will put a target out. I won't tell you the distance until the day of, and your job is to figure out what counterweight mass you need in order to hit that target. So you're trying to get as close as possible. You'll have 3 tries. The other portion of the competition is the range, distance, how far does it throw? So both things are going to be important in your grade, is how accurate it is and how far it throws. Other things that are going to be your final grade are how the quality of your prototype, how well you built that. Also, you're going to have a presentation. So you're going to have prototype quality, how well you build it. You're going to have performance, which will be a competition where we'll have accuracy and range portions. And then finally, you'll have a presentation. Now you're going to want to watch the second video on this worksheet, which will show you how a trebuchet catapult works. Let me know if you have any questions.